Go. Hello, welcome. I want to start a series on transformational leadership. Hello and welcome to this online course on transformational leadership. I am delighted to guide you through one of the most vital aspects of personal and difference between being a boss and being a true leader. Whether you manage a team, pastor a congregation, leading a company, or mentoring others, the way you lead determines how far your people will go with you. Let us explore the 10 differences between a boss and a leader. More importantly, how you can embody the best qualities of leadership in your people. I versus we. A boss will always say I, while a leader will say we. But a leader says we. Leadership is about collaboration, not personal spotlight. Saying we, a leader creates a sense of unity, shared responsibility, and team identity. Remember, people support what they create. I must tell you, boss will always take credit, while leaders will give credit. A boss takes credit for everything, often overshadowing the team's contribution. But a leader gives credit publicly and generously. A good leader amplifies the effort of others and never hesitates to let others shine. Why? Because recognition fuels motivation. Micromanaging versus delegation. A boss micromanages his team, while a leader shows off, hovering over every task, showing mistreated. But a leader delights trust and clarity. Delegation, abandoning responsibility, its manipulative effectiveness. Empowerment shows confidence in your team as ability. Criticism versus encouragement. Boss will always criticize without guidance, while leaders will encourage. Encouragement builds people up. A boss criticizes mistakes, but a leader sees them as a learning opportunity. Leaders correct with grace and encourage with wisdom, while it's otherwise with boss. Focus on weakness versus focus on strength. A boss constantly highlights what's wrong. A leader draws out what's strong. Great leaders identifies and develops strength of those they lead. We don't grow by being reminded of what we lack, but by being empowered in what we carry. Blame. Boss will always blame, while leaders take responsibility. When failure comes, boss looks for someone to blame. A leader looks in the mirror first. Taking responsibility earns respect and builds integrity. Leadership begins with accountability. Leadership, I will say again, begins with accountability. Directive stroke coach. A boss delights and directs, gives orders, issues command, but a leader coaches, asks questions, guides development, and cultivates growth. Coaching turns empowerment into teammates and followers into fellow leaders. Coaching is leadership in motion. My people, speaking versus listening. A boss speaks more often without listening, but a leader listens more, shows value. He says, your voice matters. When you truly listen, you don't just hear words, you hear people's hearts. In spite of everything, if you listen more, you will behave more while leading. Fear and inspiration and enthusiasm. Fear may gain compliance but never compliments. A boss uses fear to control. A leader uses wisdom to inspire. Enthusiasm, not fear, is the fuel of great team. When people are inspired, they exceed expectation. Commands versus ask. A boss will always command. Do it because I say so. A leader asks, how do we do this? How do you think we should proceed? Leaders involve, engage, and invite. People are more committed to the plan they help in shaping. My people, to wrap it all, or rather I would say to conclude, leadership is influence. Leadership is not about position, it's about influence. Anyone can be a boss, but leadership is earned by trust, integrity, and example. May I ask you today, which side of the character describes your style of leadership today? And more importantly, which side will define your leadership tomorrow? Thank you for listening, and I would also encourage our great pastoral leaders to learn from these 10 tips of leadership. Thank you and God bless. I remain your brother, the Venerable David Nwanekpe, Rector, Anglican Church of the Holy Spirit, Bronx, New York. See you next time.